In 5, 4, 3.
Hey everybody, this is Danielle.
And this is Daniel.
And I'm Carla, and we are Hoosier Homicide,
A true crime podcast by Hoosiers for Hoosiers, or for anyone that doesn't know what a Hoosier is.
Wait, do you know what a Hoosier is?
Nope.
Nope.
Shit.
I'll look it up, I promise. We tell true crime stories with some random connection to our home state of Indiana, so come listen.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Our handle is @HoosierHomicide. You can also rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, as well as Podbean.
We also have a MySpace. No one's come to visit it yet.
And for honest to goodness,
Stay out of the corn. I like the MySpace thing.
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you for letting us in.
I was burying bodies out in the desert.
Neighbors claimed they practice witchcraft.
Quiet. Everything will be fine.
Welcome back to Not Your Mother's Fucking Podcast.
Yes. I love it.
Yes, thanks to our Facebook group member, Christina, for offering that up to us. We fucking love it.
Yes. And if you're not in the Facebook group, you should get in the Facebook group. It's
You're missing
very
cool shit like that,
Dude,
man.
there's like so much cool, like at this point, I don't even think it's like a lot of it's not even you and I posting shit, because I know I personally have not posted on Facebook in all week because I'm on fire literally every day. But there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that you guys have been posting, and I always see everybody's stuff, and I try to like share some love
Yeah, totally.
on everything. So we always see everything that you guys post, and it's just a really cool group of people,
Yeah,
and we're
it
growing.
is. We are.
and there's
We're
like
growing.
new faces in the group, so it's very cool.
Definitely new places. New places.
New places, yeah.
New places.
New places in
faces.
Facebook. We're reading about that. We're reading about that in House of Leaves.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Places in other places that shouldn't be in spaces.
Damn.
It's that kind of episode today.
It really is.
Just gonna
It is
let you
that
guys
kind of
know.
episode. But yes,
If I start howling unintelligibly at any point, I'm fine.
are you sure about that?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. I have some tea from Taco Bell, so we're going to just get through.
We're gonna get through it because you know what? We're not your mother's podcast. We're not your mother's. It's not your mother's Facebook group. It's not your mother's Insta feed. We're just not for your mother in general. So
No, just not for your...
If-
your mother, tell her no.
just say no.
It's not allowed.
Not at
I mean,
all.
unless she's cool.
Yeah. Unless
Then
she's
she
down.
can. Then she can hang out. Not your mother's Facebook group. # unless she's down.
Yeah. I'm about it.
I'm into
Merch
it.
ideas.
I'm into it. But
Assistant?
seriously, we don't have one.
Yeah.
Still, may I remind you, we have a couple new people in our
One of
Facebook
these
group,
days,
but we don't
I'm
have
gonna
an
tell you what,
assistant.
Katie. One of these days, when we finally do have one, and you're gonna say that shit, you're gonna say, Kenny, we don't have, and then you're gonna stop because we'll have one.
That'll be beautiful.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. You hold your
Well,
breath for that.
I will. I'll hold my breath while we get into our little shop of horror.
Ooh, who are we talking about today?
So, this is a really cool shop that goes by the name of Memento Mori. You can find them on Instagram. They are pretty badass. They have like handcrafted skulls. Now, yes, handcrafted. So these are vegan skulls, cruelty-free all the way.
Yeah, they didn't get snatched out of any adorable animal's little head.
And they are 100% vegan, the skulls, not 100% vegan skulls.
100% skulls from 100% vegans.
Yes. No,
Skulls from
wait,
vegans.
Wait, no.
No.
No, that's not. No.
Nope.
Not
That's
that.
a prison
Not that.
sentence.
Nope.
That's
Yeah.
Ed Gein.
Yeah, exactly.
I doubt they were vegan, though, because they were in Wisconsin.
Cut scene to my like
There's a
lamp
lot
of
of
skulls
meat eating.
in my bedroom.
Those are vegan skulls.
Yes, they
Because they're
are
made of
vegan skulls.
plastic.
We love it. But What's really awesome
skulls are
is
better.
that, yes, they are. Hey, I got mine at the Cracker Barrel. That's still
It's
good.
true, but these skulls are just like these things are freaking gorgeous. Like the level of detail that goes into like each one is just I could stare at it for hours.
Oh yeah, the craftsmanship is amazing, and what's also great is that like it's pretty reasonable, and they do jewelry and accessories and really cute like necklaces, pendants, earrings, that sort of thing. And I'm just totally down for all of it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I like that it's stuff that you could like wear to work or wear or to your mother's, and it doesn't look like it's definitely
Well, you'd almost have to
spooky,
look twice
but
at
it's
it.
not. Yeah, it doesn't jump out as like, oh, you know,
A subtle-
that's a fucking skull.
She's a
It's
subtle
more like-
spook.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. But yeah, no, and honestly, the Instagram handle is memento.mori, and it's worth like going over there just to check out the feed. I'm obsessed.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's like amazing. So, it's beautiful.
And they do ship worldwide, which is awesome. And according to them, death is always in fashion.
So our one listener in Russia, they can ship to you, babe.
Yeah.
If you need a skull.
Australia.
If you're short. New Zealand.
South Korea.
It's fine. I think there's also like just one.
Yeah. All those
Yeah.
places.
It's cool.
India. Cool.
There you go.
And
That's the world.
That
We
is
just
the world.
literally for the rest of the podcast, we just list different countries in the world for an hour and 10 minutes.
Yep.
We just list out countries. So, well, I'm not going to take you to a different country, but I am going to take you to a different state.
Oh.
Because at the top of this episode, you guys heard the promo for Who's Your Homicide.
Who's your wedding? Who?
I know. Every time I say that, because we're a little bit country, every time I say it, I think of Who's Your Homicide?
Who's your homicide?
It's like some game
who's
show
your
where you
mama?
have to guess the murder or whatever. But
Who's your daddy?
no. Okay, listen to me. This is very serious. If there is not currently a stripper within the state of Indiana whose stripper name is not Who's Your Mama, I'm going to have to personally correct that myself because I need that to be part of the world.
You just moved to Indiana and become Who's Your Mama?
Only for like a limited weekend engagement because you know I don't do that cold weather.
A limited engagement.
A limited engagement featuring Who's Your Mama?
Who's your mama?
Why do we say it like that? Because like
know.
I don't think Hoosiers have an accent like that.
No, they don't. We're just fusing it with
Hoosier.
ours.
Anyway, Who's Your Homicide is a true crime podcast hosted by Danielle, Daniel, and Carla. Carla threw me for a loop there.
You're expecting another D.
I was. But it's okay, Carla. We love you. You stand out, baby. You stand out from the crowd. So they focus on crimes that happened, I'm pretty sure, in Indiana. And they kind of like dig in. And they're really good. They're very, very thorough. But they're also kind of funny like us. Like they keep it a little bit lighthearted.
They keep it real.
Yeah. Yeah. They keep it real. So
Real Hoosier.
They are very cool, very sweet people. Definitely check out their show. They're at Who's Your Homicide on Instagram and Twitter. And they release episodes on Thursdays. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure
Yep,
if I said
they
that.
do.
So after you listen to our episode today, you can go ahead and subscribe to their show and hear them tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
It's cool.
Yep.
Do it. Carla wants you to.
Who's Your Mama wants you to.
Who's Your Mama wants you to.
So, we have, well, I feel like we have an exciting episode today. For those of you true Haunted Heart OGs who have been with us for a minute, may remember our second episode where we went into night terrors and sleep demons and everything that can just fucking kill you in your sleep in the middle of the night while you're home alone and comfortable and warm and cozy in your
Maybe
bed.
like you are right now.
Yeah,
listening
like
to
you are
this here
right now.
podcast.
What's in the corner? You've got the light from your iPhone that's dimly lighting your face in the darkness, but what's in the corner? Could be the bocce bot.
Probably a big pile of laundry that you need to fold and put away.
Listen,
goddamn it.
bitch, that was a read for me, and I need you to shut the fuck up. Okay? This is not the reading episode.
We didn't tell them what the topic is.
Yes, well, I was going to.
They're
before you-
hanging on our word. They're not. Nobody.
Well, all right. So, yes, we got to go around the world talking about sleep demons. So this time we are talking about sea creatures and monsters, ghost ships, terror on the sea.
That was really good. You did a good job with that.
I tried.
You did. Yeah. So we talking about sea creatures. And I don't know if you guys saw it. However, one of the most reputable news sources, the Orlando Sentinel, has reported that an alien spaceship has been found off Florida's East Coast.
Oh, wow.
So I just thought I'd let you guys know in researching for this show.
Katie,
found
they've come
that.
to take you home.
And I just want to read a little bit. All credit goes to the Orlando Sentinel for this story. I just want to read a little bit just so you guys know what's going on, because we always strive to bring you the breaking news on the Haunted Heart podcast. So, a reality show treasure hunter says he may have found an alien spaceship in the Bahamas using maps and charts created by former NASA astronaut Gordon Cooper. And then the article goes on to detail what he thinks he's found, and it appears to be like it literally looks just like a piece of maybe a shipwreck.
Oh.
And he was talking about how it looks like a hand reaching forth with 5 fingers of fury or something. It got really weird.
real dramatic, reaching it came down in flames, and the only thing that's left is the alien hand sticking out.
Yeah, it got really, to me, it just kind of looked like old shipwreck covered in moss, ocean moss, algae.
Coral, maybe?
I'm really qualified to do this episode.
Is there coral in Florida? I don't know.
There used to be. I think we're killing it. I think that's one of the things that global warming and fake news is killing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it was an alien spaceship that our Space Force shot down.
Maybe it was space ISIS.
Yes.
We got to get off of that. We can't ride that ship too far.
Nope.
We can't sail that ship too far. Another just cool piece of fun thing that I thought would be cool to talk about. Before I kind of figured out what I was going to be zeroing in on for this episode, I took it in a couple different directions. I went the sea monster route, and I went the, alien spaceship off the coast of Florida route. And before I kind of settled in on what I'm going to do, I found this really cool story about, in 2003, scientists apparently tagged a 9-foot great white shark in Australia as part of their research study. But when they checked on the tracking device later, the device had detected, they saw something really weird. The device had detected that suddenly, the shark's just swimming along, doing his life, right? Being terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, the shark just plummeted 1,900 feet in a matter of seconds. And its
What?
body temperature skyrocketed nearly 20 degrees.
What the fuck?
Right? And that's what the scientist said. Literally, verbatim.
Me as a scientist?
Yeah. We would be the worst fucking scientists.
What the fuck?
It was ghosts.
It
Write
was
it down
ghosts.
in the charts.
It was
Cindy.
ghosts. Sea monsters,
It was a
creatures. It got it. It got
Damn
get.
ghost. Well, I mean, that's kind of what they came up with. The only viable explanation, according to the researchers, was that some sort of massive sea creature must have swallowed the great white shark in a matter of seconds, dragging it deeper and deeper into the ocean and turning it into a meal.
And this was, how big was this shark?
It was 9 feet long.
All
So
right.
it was a big motherfucker. Great whites are known as being it was 9 feet or 3 meters for our Australian listeners. They're big motherfuckers, and they're supposed to be one of the biggest motherfuckers in the ocean that eats meat. Obviously the whales and stuff, they're just chomping down on krill. But
Maybe
they were kind of confused as to what could have eaten it.
Maybe it
it's
was the
Megalodon.
Meg. Ah!
Maybe it's fucking Megalodon.
You knew I was going to make that segue.
Hell yeah. If Megalodon was real, bitch would be living up in Australia.
I'm going to tell you
You
what.
know they would.
I have heard that movie has done really well.
I almost went to see it at the drive-in, but I didn't get to, and I'm devastated because it's like the perfect drive-in movie.
It really is. I mean, it's got Jason Statham in it, which
I think it's
he's-
Statham.
Statham.
I hate to do that to you, but I thought his
Statham?
name was Statham as well, and I got clocked
Statham.
really hard in public once.
Who clocked you about that?
I don't know, like some random person, like not even a movie person, just some random person, some girl.
Some fangirl. It was a fangirl.
Yeah, I think she liked him, but she
Statham.
clocked me so irrevocably.
Statham.
It was traumatizing.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought that it was going to be one of those like, and I haven't seen it, so I can't say if it is or if it isn't. But I mean, it seems to be getting really good reviews, and I just thought it was going to be one of those like random, like Sharknado.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah. No, I think it's. I mean, I'll probably watch it.
That's fucking terrifying. That's why I don't get in the ocean. I do not get in the ocean.
You avoid bodies of water in general.
I mean, yes.
Like you don't get in the pool either.
I mean, yes. Okay. Listen, I don't do water unless I'm in a bath or shower.
Here we are.
Or maybe a shallow fountain.
In the Terror on the Sea episode, Kenny, I don't do water.
I don't do water, especially water where I can't see the bottom.
Yeah.
I don't trust it. No. My grandfather used to have a lake house, and so like I used to go swimming, and like I don't know, I just developed a fear of like what the fuck is under there.
I'm okay with the ocean, and I'm okay with the pool. I don't like lakes. I have a thing with lakes. I can't do because lakes, I feel like there are snakes in there. Specifically, like there are lake-specific snakes that I cannot and will not fuck with.
Nah,
I'm not
do
trying
any
to
of it.
have a fucking snake coil its way
Well, see,
around
that's the thing.
my
And then
fucking
also,
leg.
like, lakes have, like, pieces of wood and shit that are all at the bottom, so, like, you never really know, like, what it is
Yeah,
you're
and
fucking
rocks and
stepping
shit.
on.
You know, I fractured
No.
my ankle once in a river.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that on the show?
No.
Oh, yeah. I fucking jumped in. Everybody was having a great time at summer camp swimming in this fucking river, and I was really paranoid because I was a little baby witch and I didn't know it back then, but I was really paranoid that I was going to jump in and hit a rock and hurt myself. And so I was talking to the guy who owned the lake, and I was like, or the river, and I was like, okay, but are there rocks in here? And he was like, no, there's no rocks in there. And I was like, but that seems unusual to me because it's, a wild place where there would be rocks. And he eventually got exasperated with me, and he was like, okay, I went in earlier this morning, and I got all the rocks out of the river. And I kind of sort of knew he was lying, but I was like, okay, well, I'm going to let this, comfort me enough that I can swim with the other normal children. Climbed up, went to the top of the hill where everyone had been jumping off for like 30 minutes. First jump, smacked my ankle on a rock, fractured that motherfucker.
Fuck.
And that's exactly what I said when I came up out of the water, too. I was pissed as hell. Bitch knew intuition.
I spent a lot of time in bodies of water when I was growing up, and I just stopped. I think the last time I was in the ocean, I was about a little over waist deep, and I got to looking, and all of a sudden I realized I was surrounded by a fucking school of jellyfish. Like, they were starting to surround me. And I was like, I saw one.
Let us get us this milkshake
Right.
over here. He looks like a hefty glass.
I saw one, and then I was like, oh. And then, like, I saw another one. And then it was like another one. And then all of a sudden,
And
it's
then
like
it was
that
DJ
pan
Khaled
up.
status.
Right.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
No, but it's like, and then the scene pans upward, and then, like, you just see, like, fucking swarms of jellyfish coming my way.
In the shape of a giant jellyfish.
Yeah. I backed the fuck up out the water. I ain't been in since.
Them jellyfish are out there
I
waiting.
ain't.
They're in the water just floating
That's
maliciously.
what I think. Nope, I don't do it.
Floating
Don't do
maliciously, waiting on you every time you go to the beach.
Nope, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I so I haven't seen Meg, but my personal recommendation for a movie that you should see if you have not seen it is Ghost Ship. I watched that again recently for this episode. And because I'd seen it I'd seen it a long time ago, but had kind of forgotten a little bit about it. But 2002, it's an American-Australian horror film, and it's also directed by Steve Beck, who did 13 Ghosts. I believe we talked about that before. But it stars like a really young Emily Browning, and it's got Juliana Margulies, I believe. Margulies. Yeah.
Anglais.
Maybe.
Parlez-vous français?
But it's noted for its incredible opening scene where everyone on deck becomes sliced by that thin piece of wire.
Yeah.
And media website Coming Soon actually listed this film as having one of the greatest opening sequences in horror movie history. And I would have to agree. Maybe not the greatest, but it's definitely up top.
Up there.
Yeah, it's definitely up top. So it's really about this group of people, and they like salvage boats for a living. And this like creepy guy comes up and is like, "Hey, I found this boat, this random boat in the ocean. Why don't you come and like
Why did
check
that sound
it out?"
like a song? I found this boat.
I'm
this
on a
random
boat.
I am a ghost.
Yeah, right. So they go and check it out, and then like all of this creepy shit starts happening, and they start getting picked off one by one.
Isn't that the way it always goes?
It is.
It's always
it is.
the way.
It's one of my. It's a really good. It got a lot of shit when it first came out. Like it doesn't have really great reviews, but TBH, like I think it's pretty great. So I mean, you've got ghosts, you've got double-crossing murderous crewmates, you've got stolen treasure, you've got demons. I mean, what else could you want from an early 2000s horror film?
You got ghosts. You got ships. You got ghost ships.
Right. I mean, and who cares? Who cares what the fuck critics thought in 2002? In 2002, I believed I was straight. We all have the ability to change. So, there's that.
That's true. It's funny that you talked about ghost ship.
Do you have a ghost ship?
No, I don't have a ghost ship. I
You
have two.
the ghost ship.
I have two ghost ships.
All right, so I
Actually.
think we should explain what a ghost ship is.
Okay. Do you want to take the lead?
Yes, I will. So a ghost ship is a ship of ghosts.
Good. Are we clear on it? Moving forward.
No, it's an actual term for an unmanned ship that has made its way out to sea and is floating around. Typically, you don't know why. Typically, it's a ship that has been lost. Like, there's no crew members. Like, and there's nobody around. It's just a random ship.
Right.
That's
so back in
found.
the day, before we were constantly connected to each other at all time and part of the corporate hive mind, when you went out on a boat to sea, like if the boat capsized and you went overboard, that's kind of it. And, nobody really knew what happened to you. And then like years later, and oftentimes like it would be like months to years later, the boat would correct itself, would right itself, and would just continue sailing around unmanned. And so somebody would run into it and they'd be like, well, this is creepy. But a lot of times it would be because the boat had capsized and the crew had been lost to the waves.
Or abandoned, like, for whatever reason, and they just left it floating around.
Right. Being creepy. Mm-hmm. Staying spooky. So, I guess I can get into... I'll do the most famous ghost ship first. And then we'll come back and do the first one.
Okay.
Not necessarily the first, but like the first major recognized one. So first we'll talk about the Mary Celeste.
The Mary Celeste.
The Mary Celeste. Doesn't she sound like she would be like the leader of the popular kids group
Mary
in
Celeste.
high school? Mary Celeste.
Yeah. I feel like I don't like her.
Yeah, I don't think it would work out for us. But 1892. I'm sorry, 1872. I'm doing a great job already. That was so long ago. What is 20 years? In 1872, after only 1 month at sea, the Mary Celeste was found off the coast of Portugal.
Okay.
appearing to be aimlessly floating along with no crew aboard. When those who discovered the curious boat boarded the ship, not a single member of the crew was anywhere to be found. There were no signs of foul play present, and all of the crew members' belongings were still intact and completely undisturbed. It was as though everybody on board had just vanished.
Poof.
The ship's only lifeboat was the only thing that was missing. And what caused the entire crew to leave the ship behind is a mystery to this day. Piracy and mutiny were obviously ruled out because there weren't any signs of violence, there weren't any signs of struggle, and all the crew's belongings were left untouched. Over the years, people have theorized that the crew maybe abandoned the ship, or perhaps the Mary Celeste succumbed to the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle.
Ooh.
Either way, legend has it that every time the ship has changed hands, the new owner would sell it after hearing about its history of bad luck. In 1887, the boat was purposefully destroyed by its owner.
Ooh.
So that's the story of the Mary Celeste. And I actually did look into that. Like, I wanted to tell it that way because it's more fun. I looked into it, and the owner purposefully destroyed it, not because it was a demon ghost ship from hell that was bound to curse the world, but because of insurance fraud.
Oh, yeah, I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
Was that fact, though, or was that, like, suspected? I think that's still suspected.
No, I think it was fucking insurance fraud. Like, I'm going to be real with you. I think it was probably fraud. I would like to think that it was, like, a mission to destroy this, like, demon boat from purgatory.
Well, why couldn't it be both?
Maybe so. And you wanted to get a check from Geico for it.
I mean, I would.
Got
I'm
your
gonna
boat
destroy this
insurance,
boat
girl.
and get my coin.
and get a little bit of coin. Opportunistic.
Yes.
Hero.
I remember reading, because I know with the Mary Celeste, the ship's log had been entered in like a few days prior. And nothing was like
nothing
out
was
of the
amiss.
ordinary. Like nothing was out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
And I
think it was actually 3 days prior.
Yeah.
If I'm correct.
And I think what I remember
Maybe 5 days.
is a group of like fishermen, I think, stumbled upon the boat first. Mm-hmm. And was like, okay, this is a little weird.
Yeah, like, can you fucking imagine, like, being out in the ocean, which is kind of scary, like, in general.
Yeah.
But, like, coming up on a ship that just has nobody on board and it's just totally fucking silent and dead and, like, the sail is just, like, billowing in the wind aimlessly. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-mm. Nope. Launch the torpedoes, team. We gotta go. I'm not fucking with that. Not to mention that sailors are, like, the most superstitious people ever.
Oh, they really are. There's so many, like, tales that, like, we could not get into it in one episode, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff.
One of...
That we're not going to talk about, sorry.
There's a lot of really cool shit that you're not going to get here.
Nah, maybe we'll swing back.
Oh, we always will. We'll swing back. We'll turn that boat right back around.
We always tap back on that ass.
One of my favorite ghost ship stories is actually, like, there's nothing really supernatural about it, but it's still fucking terrifying.
Yeah. There's plenty about the sea that's just scary in fucking general.
Right. So my favorite ghost ship story is about how the Black Plague came to Northern Europe.
Oh, huh. I thought it was rats.
Yes.
I thought it was fleas on rats.
Yes.
Okay.
So we know that in the mid-1300s, the Black Plague made its way into Europe, which created one of the most profound religious, social, and economic upheavals in European history. And then it killed almost 30 to 60% of the Europe's population. Mm-hmm. We know, again, that the fleas were the main cause of the spread of the plague, but so was capitalism. Trade routes were a huge factor in the spread of the disease, as these fleas on the rats were literally carried around the world. So, while everyone was freaking out in Southern Europe over the spread of the plague, everyone in the North was just chilling. They thought, okay, we're up here. It's cold. And if it hasn't arrived here by now, then obviously we're not going to get it. Okay. Cutscene to 3 months later and everybody's just dead. No, but in all seriousness, so in 1349, an English trade ship carrying wool and other livestock set off for a northern destination when the creeping death slowly began to take over. All attempts to quarantine the sick failed, and every last person on board perished from the plague. The ship, now a ghost ship, could have just set sail on until it sank, but it didn't. As fate would have it, the ship made its way to Norway and ran aground near Bergen Harbor, and the livestock carrying the disease escaped the ship, and the rest is history. It hit Norway, spread through Sweden, and then ruthlessly hit Russia by 1351. So that is how a ghost ship brought the Black Plague to Northern Europe.
Damn. Wouldn't that have been crazy, though, if it had just, like, sailed around the, like, the ocean for, like,
And been
I
like
don't
a
know,
ticking time bomb.
like 50 years or whatever, and then,
Yeah.
like, hit America? And we wouldn't know what the fuck to do, because the plague wouldn't have been that big of a deal then.
Right.
Right? So we wouldn't have, like... Did you know that you can still get that?
The plague?
Yeah, you can still get
Oh.
plague.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's a thing. It's like a medical diagnosis.
Oh, okay.
And every now and then there'll be, like, a couple cases of it. It's crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I just thought that this was...
It's treatable now. Like, you don't die.
This was really interesting to me. I actually researched this last year because I did a Halloween character based off of it for our witches party last year, and created a whole story around this ghost ship and how it came and crashed and spread the plague. So I might share that on our Patreon.
Yeah.
That little story that I wrote and created about that. So
You should. I think that would be cute.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I have some more ghost ship realness.
Oh,
If you want that.
yeah.
If you're looking for it.
Yeah.
So I told you I was going to tell you about I told you what I was going to tell you. Now I'm going to tell you what I told you. So we talked about the Mary Celeste, which is probably one of the most famous ghost ships.
Yes.
But one of the first ones was the Ourang Medan. Have you heard of it?
No,
You made
I
a
have
funny
not.
face, so I'm assuming you don't. So the legend of the Ourang Medan may be one of the creepiest maritime ghost stories ever told. So the name Ourang Medan, which I'm sure I'm pronouncing horrifically wrong, it means the man from Medan.
Okay.
Which is creepy in itself. Like, something
Yeah.
about that freaks me the fuck out. Like, if it's a boat, it should be called the boat from Medan, not the man from Medan. I'm not into it.
The man from Medan. No.
So this story has kind of popped up at different times throughout the years for, like, not for like 70 years now. So its first appearance was in a series of 3 articles in the Dutch Indonesian newspaper, Die Economotief.
Ooh, okay. Good job.
Don't congratulate me. I'm sure I fucked it up. The Dutch can tell me. You can email me, baby, but I won't be able to read it. So who's the winner?
Oh my God.
No. So the article first appeared there was one February 3rd of 1948, one February 28th of 1948, and then one March 13th of that same year. It's mostly the same as the later versions, but there are a couple differences. So the name of the ship, the Ourang Medan, is actually never mentioned in the first couple articles, but the location of the encounter is, all of the reports are within about 400 nautical miles from each other.
Okay.
Which apparently 400 nautical miles is equal to 460 regular miles.
Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying.
I don't know why you got to be all like America
Nautical
on it and have a different
miles.
system of measurement or whatever.
Nautical miles.
Nautical miles, yeah. So within about 400 nautical miles southeast of the Marshall Islands. So the second and third articles in the 3 article set described the experience of a sole survivor of the Ourang Medan crew who was found by an Italian missionary on Choangji Atoll, which is located in the Marshall Islands. The man, before he died, told the missionary that the ship was carrying a badly stowed cargo of sulfuric acid.
Ooh.
And that most of the crew had perished because the poisonous fumes escaped from the broken containers that the sulfuric acid was being carried in.
Yeah.
I mean, sounds like an OSHA violation to me.
I mean, I'm just saying.
According to this story, the Ourang Medan was sailing from an unnamed small Chinese port to Costa Rica and deliberately avoided the authorities because of their cargo. The survivor, an unnamed German man, died after telling his story to the missionary, who then told her story to the author of the newspaper articles or whatever. So obviously people were like, okay, they're probably fucking with us, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole, that's part of the legend of this ship is like, nobody really knows if it's real or not. And there are reports, but the reports are kind of like, and it's maybe not real, but also it's kind of like a thing where nobody wants to find out for sure. You sure don't want to fucking see it when you're out sailing.
Nope, I would not.
So both the story and the ship's existence in general are unconfirmed. Details of the vessel's construction and its history remain a mystery. Do you like how I rhymed?
Yes, I did.
No official registration or accident investigation has ever been found, and yet the tale continues to persist. The first mention of the Ourang Medan in English was a story that was first published in the Albany Times in October of 1948. And that story is very, it's sort of similar, but in that story, there are no survivors. 2 American ships received a signal from a Dutch cargo ship that was in distress. When the rescuers got there to the ship and boarded it to save the crew, the entire crew was dead.
Ooh, no.
Without any signs of foul play.
Oh, shit.
So they were
That's
just
why
dead.
you don't answer distress calls, people. You do if someone's screaming and crying and hollering and cut up and bloodied at your front door, you turn off that porch light.
Oh, no! You gotta call 911.
Like
That's
that
what
old
they're
couple
for.
did Laurie Strode in the original Halloween.
Is that you and me as elderly people? Is that
That's what- Yes, it may be horrible, but guess what? Guess who had a good night's sleep? Guess who's in bed?
You are terrible. Don't tell our people to be that. Help each other. Love each other. Take care of each other.
I mean, yes, help and love, but don't fuck yourself up.
So, the American rescuers board. Everyone's dead. No sign of foul play. It is said that terror was frozen on the faces of the corpses aboard the Ourang Medan. And all throughout the ship, many of the corpses died with their arms reaching out for help.
Oh, no.
Before an investigation could get underway, so we can figure out what the fuck happened, the ship spontaneously burst into flames.
Oh, my fucking God. Are you serious?
Burning any evidence which may have helped solve the mystery of the Ourang Medan.
That's insane.
Yeah, I love it. So there are a couple of theories, obviously. We'll run through them really quickly. Of course, the story that was published in the Dutch paper about unsecured hazardous materials, the sulfuric acid being carried. I can't fucking say that word. Sulfuric.
Sulfuric acid.
I feel like...
Sulfuric.
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 The acid that comes from sulfur, that one. The story that was published in the in the Dutch paper about that. So we kind of went through that. So people actually did studies, and they said that the seawater could have entered the ship's hold and reacted with the sulfuric acid to release toxic gases, which would then cause the crew to succumb to asphyxia as they breathed it in. And the seawater would have reacted with, there were a couple other things that they thought they could be carrying depending on the time period. Nitroglycerin was one of them, which would also have reacted with seawater, causing basically the explosion. So a nice way to explain that away so we can all get some sleep. Another theory actually is that they were transporting nerve gas, which the Japanese military had been storing in China during the First World War, or the Second World War. Am I an idiot? I am. The Second World War.
Wow. Okay. History.
It's fine. I have a degree in history. It's good. Sometimes I just get nervous. So it kind of works out with the time period that they could have been transporting that nerve gas back. No U.S. ship could transport that nerve gas as it would leave a paper trail.
Okay.
Because we made Japan hand all that nerve gas over to us, but we didn't fucking want it on paper. Because we're shady like that, right?
Got it.
So
Shady boots.
it's possible that that was loaded onto a non-registered ship for transport to the U.S. and then hilarity ensued. Or, horror.
Yes. And then terror ensued.
Terror on the sea, in fact.
Yes.
Specifically. So another theory that we haven't heard is carbon monoxide poisoning. It's been put forward that an undetected smoldering fire or a malfunction in the ship's boiler system actually could have been responsible for the shipwreck. The carbon monoxide that it would have given off could have caused the deaths of everybody on board, and then the fire could have gotten out of control and burned the whole ship down. So that kind of makes sense, too, a little. And then there's another theory that... This is my favorite theory. It's just called paranormal...
Is it ghosts? Is it ghosts?
No, but it does tie in. It's called paranormal phenomena.
Okay. I'm down. That's all you got to say.
So it's...
Like your mama, I'm down.
It's been put forward beginning in 1953, so relatively soon, right? Because the report first appeared in 1948. 1953, it was speculated that the crew could have been attacked by a UFO. Maybe it was that fucking ship. Maybe it was that UFO off the coast of Florida.
It was that alien ship.
They fucking circled over to the Marshall Islands, fucked some shit up, and then came right on down to Florida. And parked that shit.
That's a big time.
Off the coast. That's a big time.
Time frame. That's a big time.
Well, they've just been laying low. You know what I'm saying? Keeping a low profile underneath the ocean of Florida.
They realized they fucked up, and they're like, oh, shit.
Anybody else find it funny that the aliens would go to Florida first? Because it just kind of makes sense.
I mean, yes, it's funny, but I'm not surprised. Not surprised. I feel like all of Florida, it's just inhabited by aliens.
Yeah.
We just don't know.
Maybe. No offense to you if you're in Florida. Love you.
Love Floridians.
St. Pete Beach, St. Petersburg. Fucking gorgeous. St. Petersburg, Florida. Love it.
But I'm just saying, that wouldn't surprise me.
That's true.
If everybody in Florida just ripped off their flesh masks and was like... And then, started the takeover of the world.
It's cool. I mean, I would try to befriend them.
Wow.
Anywho, the evidence for this UFO argument, as you can imagine, is perhaps not as robust as the scientific evidence for an unsecured hazardous materials transport.
You don't say.
However, it was pointed out. The author of the article that I was reading made sure to point it out that it was circumstantial evidence. So the circumstantial evidence that was cited by the paranormal folks included the absence of a natural cause of death for anyone on board, the reportedly terrified expressions on the faces of the deceased, and rumors that some of the dead were pointing towards an unknown enemy. Now, I just have to say that it might not be an alien for me to have a nasty look on my face, girl.
Right.
I might have just been having me a moment. You know what I'm saying?
You might have been having it out with somebody.
Maybe so. It might not be. And maybe I wouldn't have a disgusted look on my face when beholding an alien. Maybe I'm open to it. Some people are. I'm not. I'm not. I want to make it clear. I'm actually very frightened of it. It makes me deeply uncomfortable.
No.
Deeply.
Yeah, I could see. It's kind of like, you remember hearing about that, fossil of a human that they found? Not me. That that like fossil of a human that they found in I think was it Pompeii, who looks like he died in the position of masturbating.
Yeah. Damn it. You know what though?
What?
I mean, he was keeping it real
I mean, I'm just
till
saying.
the end.
I'm just saying.
If you gotta go anyway, shoot. I ain't trying to be running my last minutes.
The volcano came, and so did he.
There you go. Immortalized forever. Do you think he was trying to time it so that he would shoot like right at the...
I would hope so. I would hope so. I would definitely hope so.
I have
Yeah.
to see that. I'm going to have to Google that actually.
Well, so ghost ships are not the only thing that is terrifying on the sea.
Okay.
So, because we promised them some creatures, some sea creatures,
Are we going to talk sea creatures?
a little bit,
We going to talk
a little bit.
critters?
We're gonna go from the ships down to the waters, deep.
From okay. That was good. Uh-huh.
So, all right. So my little story previously about the ghost ship off Norway. You may have heard about a creature that lives off the coast of Norway. That's my theme this week.
Norway.
Yes.
My theme is Norway. You thought it was going to be the Terror on the Sea episode, but it's actually
Psych.
the
Terror in Norway.
Terror in Norway.
That's actually where the Kraken supposedly
Shit,
lives.
you scared the fuck out of me, and I was looking at you too.
You know the Kraken, right?
Yeah, I think I got really drunk off that one time in
No.
college.
No. You've seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I know
Yes.
you have.
I know the Kraken. I'm familiar.
Kraken.
I was making a joke about
I know.
rum.
I realized that. I don't do the rum. I'm not an alcoholic like you. Anyway.
It's fine. The first step is acceptance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
it is. So the Kraken, noted as the hugest monster in the sea. Maybe he's what like brought down that fucking shark.
Probably fucking so, dude.
I mean, it says that he is so large that he can swallow ships and whales whole. So, I'm just saying.
For some reason, the way that you phrased that made me think, you know how, like, there was that weird time in the mid-2000s when rappers would, like, they would state their largeness as a like, structure of their fame. Like, Lil Wayne used to do that a lot. He'd be like, I feel, like, colossal. And I just had this image of, like, the Kraken is like, I'm so large. With, like, a hat.
Yeah. Well, he was so large that people used to mistake it for an island, supposedly. And
You
try
know
to
what?
dock
Everybody is beautiful. I just want y'all to know.
body positive.
Everybody is beautiful.
Because they would try to dock right on top of him.
Shit. That's never good.
I mean, that's got to be annoying. I mean, I'd be pissed as fuck, too. I'd be a pissed as fuck sea creature, too, if somebody kept trying to dock their fucking ship
he
on my
probably
ass.
was really sweet. He just wanted his ass to be a no parking zone.
Girl, I will eat you and your ship. Do not. I don't blame him. So, the Kraken that we know today
the Kraken is like your spirit animal.
He really is. If you get into, like, what I'm about to get into, I thought about that. I'm like, I kind of relate to the Kraken. I really do. I kind of relate. You'll see why. So, the Kraken that we know today is generally described as a rather large octopus or squid. But the original legend described by the King of Norway in 1180 says that the Kraken is more, or he described it as more crab-like. So originally it's supposed to be more like a crab, not like the octopus or squid that we
Oh,
come
so
to
no
know of.
tentacles.
Yeah.
More like hard
More like
claws.
claws.
pincers.
Yeah. So a very flat body with dozens of very long, flexible arms, long enough to reach out of the water and snap a ship's mast like a pencil. Now, fun fact, up until the 18th century, the Kraken was actually a part of a real classification of sea creatures noted by prominent scientist Carl Linnaeus. So they thought that shit was real. But it's funny because, like, even in, like, his little notes with it, it was like real creatures, you know, and he's got his list, and then you've got like the Kraken, and it's like, I've never seen this before. No, and I'm serious. That's how it was noted. It's like have never witnessed this before, but I'm going to document it as a real
I don't know
live
if it's
actual
real,
thing.
but it seems like it would be a fun thing if it was real.
Right?
That's like if you and I did like the scientific phylums of like animals and shit.
Right. So he gets this reputation for being this super dangerous sea creature, but in reality, he's not out to get humans. He's not a human hunter. And he's actually kind of passive and lazy. Here's where we start getting into me. So most of the time, the humans and the ships are just in his way. Kind of like a wrong place at the wrong time situation. Mm-hmm. So a ship may or may not just happen to be there when the Kraken decides he's hungry and wants to devour large portions of fish. That is, of course, unless you're trying to dock your fucking ship on him, and then he just mercilessly rips your shit to shreds.
I thought you were about to say he mercifully does that.
No,
like he was like,
mercilessly.
"Oh dear child, I'm no island," and then he just like wrecks your life.
Mercilessly wrecks your shit. One of the most interesting things about the Kraken is how he hunts. It's like a cycle. Once he has devoured a round of fish, roughly about like a few thousand, it takes about 3 months for him to digest his food. And when he's hungry again, he regurgitates all of like the leftover fish muck around him.
Fish muck.
Yeah.
Fish muck. There's a phrase that I bet you don't like as
Fish
a listener.
muck.
Ugh.
So this causes the water to become muddied, which disguises the Kraken from the fish, who are actually attracted to the regurgitated bits of other fish.
What?
Yeah,
Fish are weird.
they really are.
Fish are really weird.
So the fish are attracted by this trap, and once they're there, the Kraken just opens his mouth and swallows them all whole, and thus repeats the cycle all over again. So fishermen used to actually brave getting close to the Kraken so that they could reap some of the spoils of the Kraken's hunt. Which is also another way to get your shit fucked up. I mean, do not come for my food. This is my shit.
This is my regurgitated
I mean,
fish bits.
these are my fish. You coming over here, you parking your boat on my ass, you taking my food. Bitch, no. Down to the depths with you. I'm snapping your shit in two.
down to the depths, which I want an
You just
animated.
wave your fucking... I would wave my fucking tentacle and just bam. Destroyed. Smack that fucking ship right in two. Don't think I wouldn't.
You'd be like, "Hey, girl." Now I want like an animated Kraken creature that you can just like do the voiceover work for. Get the fuck
I'm
out
just
my
saying,
ocean.
you always see the Kraken as like this like nasty, like crazy beast. He's just trying to fucking enjoy his life. He lives most of the time like on the bottom of the ocean, sleeping away until he's hungry and he wants his food, and then he comes up. That's all I'm saying.
Are you stumping for like Kraken rights?
I'm just saying. So, now, as we all know, modern day explanations say that giant squids are what the Kraken was. That's what they were seeing.
Oh, that they were seeing giant. That
Yeah.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so that they were seeing giant squids, which actually do get fairly large because they're giant.
There you go.
I don't think they would be
Facts
large enough to like
With the haunted heart, giant squids get large.
get large. I don't think that they would be large enough to like snap a whole ship into.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I don't think so. Unless there's one fucking like way down in the bottom.
He's listening to the podcast.
He's our one listener that
He's
like
like,
we
"Fuck
can't
that."
like there's one listener that we can't pinpoint. It doesn't show up anywhere on the map. It's just down in the ocean.
There you
Yeah, I
go.
mean, you never know. I don't know what the fuck is down at the bottom of the ocean. That's why
Nobody
I don't fucking
really
get
does.
in it.
That's the thing that's so weird and scary about the ocean is that like we actually know more about space than we do about the fucking ocean.
That's
Isn't that weird?
insane.
Because we can't go down like all the way. We're that girl.
That's what she
No.
said.
No. But like there's we can only go down
I
to a
bet
certain
Who's Your
depth
Mama
of
could
the-
go down all the way.
Who's Your Mama could plunge the depths.
Damn.
This
All
is a
right.
weird episode, you guys. I'm sorry.
No, I get what you're saying though.
I feel really bad for all the people who are like, oh, let me check out this podcast.
We're sorry. Not really.
No.
No, but it's serious. That's like, you look down, and even like we can get into like all of these mythical creatures and all of that other stuff, but like you get some actual fucking real live scary ass shit going on there. I don't fucks with no anglerfish, by the way. I don't. No, ma'am. Don't do it.
Yeah. No, it's not good. It's very scary. There's a lot of really creepy fish that are potentially maybe still in the ocean, and then prehistoric creatures too. There was just a lot of cool stuff.
Well, that's what that's what the Meg was supposed to be, right? Like,
yeah,
it's
Megalodon.
That's
it was supposed to be the ancestor of the sharks because he was like a big motherfucker.
Huge ass. Not like I'm not even gonna get into it. I almost brought up the JP word, but I'm not going there.
The JP word?
The JP film, Jurassic Park.
Oh no, sorry, I thought we were segueing into Jaws and then you said P and I was like, Jaws persons? Like No. Yeah, no, we can't get into that. But no, there was a lot of cool stuff, and I think I'm going to share some of the more creepy ocean critters that I found for this week's episode. I think I'm going to share some of that like extra content on Patreon, so I'll make a video or whatever for that.
Yeah, so. There's some like. Yeah, there's a lot. Because like we talked about the Kraken, but like you get so many other like creepy things. Like Japan has the ninjin. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, maybe.
It's
no,
like
I'm thinking of the Jin, which is different.
No, the ninjin.
The ninjin.
The ninjin. No, that motherfucker lives off of in the Antarctic, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the Antarctic, and it's like this like creepy humanoid like white thing that's like bald. It's got arms and a round face with like dots and like a.
No, I don't like fuck with
grin.
humanoid things. That's a word. That's a buzzword for me. Humanoid? No. No, thank you, ma'am.
And ninjin actually means human in Japan.
Fuck that. No, fuck that. We're not talking about it. Yeah. So we'll I don't know where that was going. I have no idea.
Katie?
I don't know.
What?
We'll hope we never meet a fucking ninja.
And also I have something else. Like there's actually a since you're Scottish.
Oh, yeah. Well, we think 23andMe still has not fucking gotten back to me.
It takes
I'm scared.
a while.
No, I'm scared they're about to send me a fucking letter that's like, you don't have DNA.
Nah, it takes a while. It takes
I
several
heard that
months.
story. There were like two
It takes
people
a couple
on
months
Reddit
to get that back.
No, I'm just saying there were two people on Reddit that actually literally got letters from the company that they made them sign a form saying that they wouldn't resubmit their samples. They were like, we regret to inform you that we couldn't source your sample for a test.
Well, that's mostly due to the fact that they didn't fucking submit it properly. They probably had too many spit bubbles.
No, dude. I think it was like some weird shit. Like they're aliens. They're from Florida.
No.
It's fine.
Well, I found this for you because it was Scottish.
Okay.
I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce the fucking name.
Yeah, okay. It was probably
the Ike Yuzhgi. I can't pronounce it, sorry. But it's actually a supernatural water horse.
That's
that
cool.
Can disguise itself as like a pretty horse or a pony and use its charm to invite anyone to hop on for a ride. So the gig is once you touch it, it shows its true form as this like evil spirit, and your hands, you stick to the skin of it. Like you cannot let go. Like your hand is adhered to the horse or to this creature, and it essentially drags you to the nearest body of water. With it, you drown, and it fucking tears you apart in the water.
That's why you wear gloves, bitch. You just slip right out of that thing like,
Could you imagine, though? I just found that,
just
and I was like,
seems-
that's fucking terrifying.
It seems excessive. It seems excessively violent. Like it's going to trick you and then drag you into the water, then drown you, only to tear you apart and consume you. Like, that just seems like a lot.
Yeah.
I need you to pick one. You can drown me, or you can tear me to bits, or you can consume me. You know what I mean? But all three seems like a lot.
Yeah, no.
It does seem like a Scottish thing, though. I think
I'm
they
gonna
probably
be
told
down
that
for it.
story to quit getting.
Stop touching my shit.
Yeah, I think that probably that story.
That's where
was,
a lot of the that's where a lot of the stuff comes from. Not just like talking about like these creatures and a lot of this, but it's like cautionary tales, like stop, don't do this, or
stop going on
whatever's
board
gonna
the
get
ghost
you.
ship. Just
Right.
fucking don't.
right. So
That's cool. Well, I guess that's oceanic terror.
that's terror on the sea for you this evening, guys.
I want to know who is afraid of the ocean. I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of
I'm
it.
afraid of the fucking ocean.
I would say that if I don't want to get on a boat and like sail the fucking ocean and be out in the dark by myself in the middle of the ocean surrounded by sharks and like fucking megalodon and shit, but like I wouldn't say that I'm scared of it. Like I still get in it when I go to the beach and stuff. And I like the ocean. But I want to know who's scared of it and why.
Do you need sharks? Things kill you in the ocean.
I mean, but I think I think I saw something the other day that was like babies kill more people than sharks do. And I believe that.
I mean, maybe, but listen,
I don't have a baby
I don't
either.
have a baby, nor do I plan on having one, and I'm
I don't have a
also not
baby or
getting in
shark.
the ocean. I don't have a baby or a shark, so I'm just saying, survivalist over
What
here.
if you had a shark baby?
I don't fuck with them either. Them little baby sharks, they're the ones that will swim up to the
They lure
fucking
you
edge of the
in.
damn ocean and fucking nip at your ass. Hell no. I don't trust shit. The fucking ocean killed Steve Irwin. I don't fuck with it. Fuck you. Fuck the ocean. No, actually, don't fuck the ocean. Keep it clean. Don't pollute it. It's there for a reason.
That's true.
I'm just not. I love it from over here.
We love the ghost ships and the stories of how creepy it is.
I love it from over here. We're good.
All right. Well, I hope that everyone, to the like few listeners who are on their beach trip for the summer, enjoy.
Yes,
I hope you
enjoy
had
this.
fun on this episode. Did your cat just run headfirst into the fucking trash
I
can?
feel like my cat just hit the trash can. Yes, he did.
Headfirst.
God damn it. That's a special one.
Yeah. Anywho, we'll go get him out of the trash.
All
Trash
right.
cat.
Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
As always, check us out on Facebook on our beautiful Facebook group that we mentioned at the top of the episode.
All you have to do is search the Haunted Heart podcast, and it should bring you to our closed group. You can request to join, and once you request, we will automatically accept you unless you are a serial killer or a ghost ship, in which case we're going to have to think about it for a period of 24 to 48 hours.
Yes.
And then we'll probably accept you anyway.
Yeah. You can find us on Patreon if you would like to support the podcast. We really appreciate that. Just search The Haunted Heart. We really appreciate everything. We've got some really cool tiers on there that you can check out. Lots of cool stuff available for you. And if you can't, that's totally fine. We get it. You can always go on to wherever you are listening to us and review us. Review us on iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you're listening.
And recommend us to your friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Recommend us to your friends. And did we mention Instagram? Check us out on Instagram.
Yes, we did. But what you did, Kenny doesn't usually do the social media sign off, so it's pretty cute to watch you.
Yeah.
You just Twitter. Twitter, we're at the Haunted Heart.
That tweeter.
Twitter. Yep, that's the one. Yep, that's it.
That's the next episode for you. Terror on Twitter.
God, there's a lot of material.
Shit. Instantly
So-
struck with inspiration.
Anywho, we're gonna go work on that. You guys have a great week, and as always,
Stay spooky.